Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a laundry chat with you guys. I was tagged by Laura over at Bowhead Laura to do a laundry chat. She did hers, I think it was maybe a week ago, and she tagged me in it, so now here I am getting ready to do mine. I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about, but my daughter brought up the suggestion of a few months or a little while back, I did a get to know me tag challenge, and I posted that video, like I said, a few months back, and we had to come up with 4 statements. 3 true, 1 lie, and the object was people were supposed to try to figure out what your lie was. And I did get a couple comments and a couple emails regarding it. Everybody wanted to know what my lie was, and if it wasn't a lie, they wanted to know the backstory of the other statements. So I never really addressed it, and I figured, all right, why not now? So to begin, one of the statements that I made, I have a basket of laundry here that I'm going to fold. It's actually my daughter's laundry. And I just came back from the orthopedic surgeon. For those of you who don't know, I did something to my rotator cuff. We're really not sure. He thinks there might be a small tear, but we're waiting for the MRI to come back. But in the meantime, he gave me a shot that's supposed to help with the pain and discomfort. So while I'm still able to move my arm, I figured I better get this video out. But anyway, so my 3 statements in the video were, on a whim, I packed up my entire life and moved from Philadelphia to California, all in a week's time. That was true. I did do that. I was 18 years old and didn't really know what my plan was. When I graduated high school, I went right to work. I didn't want to go to college at the time. I was taking a break. So I, worked full time, was making my own money, still living at home. And it dawned on me that I wanted to do something adventurous. So I have an aunt that lived in California, and so I called her up and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of coming out there and staying and just relocating and, starting a new adventure. She was okay with it. She said, sure, come on out, you can stay with me. So I bought a ticket and told my parents that this was my plan, that I was going to move to California and live with my aunt. My mom wasn't too happy about it. My dad, on the other hand, was like, go, live life, be merry. I think he was sick of having me and my brothers in the house, so he was looking for any chance to get us out. So I moved to California, and I was all of 18 years old, and I had a ball. I had a blast. I got a job. When I got out there, I was living with my aunt. I was making a lot of friends and just having a great time. Then, in June of 1990, they had that big earthquake, and I was like, no ma'am, this is not for me. Scared the crap out of me. So I quickly called my mom and said, I'm done, I'm coming home. So she said, come on, come home. So I came back and got my old job back and, carried on with life. But that statement of packing up my life and moving to California for a week, all in a week's time, that was true. My other statement was, one time I jumped off a highway overpass bridge into the river below, all because my friends told me to. I did that. That was true. I was 15 years old, and I was just out and about with a bunch of my friends, and for some reason we were walking on Highway 420 at the time, and we ended up crossing over this overpass, and we were looking into the river below, and we were throwing things over the overpass, and, you know, just being silly teenagers. And one of my friends said, "I bet you won't jump off." And so I looked over and I thought, it's not that big of a drop, I could do it. So of course you never want to look like a chicken or a coward in front of your friends, so I said, yeah, I would do it, I would definitely do it. So everyone started taking bets of who was going to jump off this bridge, and three of the people that I was with were guys, and you know, they were talking and puffing out their chest like, oh, I can do it, that's no problem. And one of them said, none of the girls will do it. And I grew up with two brothers, and you cannot show weakness at all, especially to my brothers, because they would never let up on you. So I got mad and I said, I'm jumping. And not only am I going to jump, I'm going to be the first one to jump. So they were like, no, you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. Well, I did. Got myself right up on that bridge, looked over, and it was right about the time that I looked over that I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? So, but I couldn't back out because, you know, I didn't want to be the one that backed out. So, with a leap of faith and a prayer to God, I jumped off that overpass into the river below, which I had no idea how deep or shallow this river was. It definitely wasn't clean. I'm sure there was probably some radioactive crap in there that I probably swallowed, and would explain a lot later in life. But yeah, so I jumped. That was true. And the funny part is, I wasn't, of course, paying attention to cars that were driving back and forth, and my neighbor saw me jump, and she just could not wait to get home and tell my mother. So I got home. My clothes were still a little damp because we had walked around. It was the middle of summer, so we had walked around for a while. I got home and my mom was, you know, questioning me, where you been, what you doing, hey, why are your clothes, you know, damp? Why do they look like they were wet? And of course I wasn't going to tell her. So I said, oh, we went swimming at such and such, their house. And she goes, oh, really? It wouldn't have anything to do with you jumping off the bridge over on 420, would it? And as soon as she said that, I knew my goose was cooked. There was no way out of it. So I kind of like I didn't confirm nor deny it. I just looked at her, and she knew. She knew. And let me tell you, she was mad. Whew, that woman tore my butt up from one end of the house to the other. I didn't think I was going to survive. And then, when that was finally over, my dad came home. And my dad wasn't a big hitter, but he loved to lecture to the point of, like, your ears were going to bleed. Like, I didn't want to hear his voice anymore. And the more he was yelling that at me, the more my mom was getting refueled. Her fire was getting refueled. And I thought, oh my God, just beat me. Just beat me again and get it over with. Like, I don't want to hear you talk anymore. So, needless to say, I was caught. I did jump. That was a true statement. I did jump. But I got caught and I paid dearly for it. And I was grounded for like 2 months. And even to this day, if I'm in a car with my mom and we drive over that bridge, I'll say, Mom, do you remember when I jumped off this bridge and you beat my butt? And she'll say, yeah, I remember when you were stupid and tried to kill yourself. my mom's from the Philippines, so her accent's pretty strong. But yeah, she would look at me and say, yes, when you were stupid. So that part was true. It was fun. Stupid, but it was fun. What was my other statement? My other statement was that one time I was out with my best friend and we crashed a wedding reception just because it was there. That, again, is true. We had decided to go for a girls' night out, and we went to this club that was near the Philadelphia airport. And while we were there, we ran into another friend of ours, Neville. So the three of us were kind of hanging out. We were drinking. We were having a good time. And we noticed this girl walking around in what we assumed to be was a wedding dress. It was very short, very risque, but she had a veil on, and we thought she's either here for a bachelorette party or she's having her wedding reception here. We found out she was having a wedding reception, and it was in the private bar right above where the public dance floor was, or where the rest of the group was. And we were watching people go up and down the steps, and nobody was, really paying attention. I was hungry, and I started thinking, why am I paying for drinks when I bet you there's an open bar upstairs? So Neville and I decided we were going to go crash this wedding reception. And my girlfriend, my best friend, April, she wanted nothing to do with it. She was like, no, we're not going up there. And I said, oh, but we are. I know you'd like to think that we're not, but we're going. She didn't want to do it. Neville and I talked her into it. We went upstairs, had some food. I think Neville danced with the bride. April ended up dancing with the groom. I was at the bar gathering drinks, and then we hit up the buffet, and we were there, I guess, about 2 hours before people started to really question, who are these people and why are they here? Because nobody could recognize us. So we quickly made our exit, and we left. And, well, we didn't really leave the club. We just went back downstairs and blended in with the crowd. But we had a great time at her reception. It was awesome. She did see us later down on the dance floor, and she was like, oh, hey, what are you doing? Let's dance some more. So we danced some more. But yeah, that was a good time. And then my fourth statement was that I woke up in a jail cell next to my best friend with no idea how we got there. That was false. That never happened. For as many stupid things and crazy off-the-wall things that we have done, or that I have done, somehow I managed to never get caught. I don't know how that happened. Trust me, there were a lot of times when I was almost caught, almost skirted. Matter of fact, one time we were out, my girlfriends and I, and again, we were teenagers. It was right before I moved to California, and one of the guys from school had rented this like efficiency apartment at this, motel in our area. And he rented it for the weekend because that's where we were going to party all weekend long. So we all piled into this little efficiency apartment and we were having a great time. And my boyfriend at the time, we had gotten into a fight, and I left and started walking down the street. And, this was before cell phones. And I noticed that there was this creepy guy that was following me. And I started to freak out. and I quickly turned around and headed back to the hotel. And once I got there, the guy had started to come up and try to talk to me, and I was trying to blow him off a little bit because I don't know, this guy, I got a bad vibe from this guy. So we get back to the hotel. Well, there were police everywhere. Something happened, I don't know, somebody had gotten into a fight in the hotel room or whatever, and the police were called. So there were all these police and all of my friends, and I just saw them scattering like mice when the lights turn on. They were just running. And I started to follow my one friend, Kathy, and she was like, just meet back at Sean's house, meet back at Sean's house. Well, I didn't know how I was going to get back to Sean's house, but in the meantime, I was snagged up by one of the cops, and he started questioning me, and I was trying to play off like I wasn't staying there. I didn't know what was going on. I had left to go down the street to the CVS to get a soda, and I think he knew I was lying, and he was like, well, you're going to have to call one of your parents. And I said, but my uncle is here. And he goes, where is he? And I pointed to the creepy guy that was following me. And I said, he's my uncle. Well, the guy had overheard, and he goes, oh, you know, comes walking up like, you know, knight in shining armor, and said, oh, do you know this woman? Or do you know this girl? And the guy said, yes, I do. She's my niece. I came here to pick her up. So the cop let me go. He released me to my uncle, and I was walking away with this guy thinking, oh my God, this cop surely just handed me over right into the arms of the devil himself. So as we were walking away and I was trying to plot my getaway, I saw my friend Kathy again, and she was in a car with a couple of my other friends. So I told the guy, oh, hold on, I gotta get my purse. I'll be right back. I walked over to the car, jumped in, and just said, go, go, go. And Kathy took off, and she was like, what's the matter? What's the matter? So I had to explain to her that I had to just escape from Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know if that was him, but that's what I called him that night. I said, Jeffrey Dahmer just tried to kidnap me. And so, yeah. So I have never been arrested. Funny how that happens, but anyway, that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, those were my 4 statements. Those are the backstories. The only one that got it correct was Becca from Prayerfully Ever After. She was the only one that guessed I had never been arrested. So yeah, to everyone else that guessed and sent me emails and comments wanting to know the backstory of all of those other statements, there you go. Yes, I was a wild child when I was younger. I still am to a certain degree. You know, when I go out with my best friend April, her husband always questions, you know, what are you girls up to now? What are you going to get my wife into? And I surely do not know what he's talking about. He does get annoyed because one time we did get into a little mishap, and we got back, and I guess April was not coherent enough to explain the story, so he grabbed himself a beer and sat down and looked at me and took a sip of his beer, and he was like, go. And I started with, well, what happened was, and he just put up his hand, he said, stop, I don't even want to know. So, yeah, I am still a little bit of a rebel, not as much as I used to be, but yeah, when I was younger and when I was a teenager, I was quite the wild child. So that is the end of my laundry chat. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all got a little chuckle out of it. I still laugh every time I think about those scenarios in my past. I want to now call out 2 other YouTubers. I want to call out Dana over at Biddy Boo Brown, If you have not gone to her channel, please do so. She is hysterical. She cracks me up every single time. So I want to call her out. And I also want to tag Deborah over at Simply Deborah. Again, if you haven't checked out her channel, please do so. She has the best intro. She gives you viral hugs and kisses, and she's a great person. So go check those ladies out. Also, if you haven't checked out Laura over at Bowhead Laura, go give her a channel a view, because she is another one that always has me cracking up. She is just the sweetest, funniest lady that I know. So yeah, go check out those channels, and until next time, I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.